Hello, my dear students of class 9. Today I am coming with the explanation of the lesson 14. The main thing of this lesson I would like to discuss with you. It is the natural resources. Okay, so what are natural resources? I want to tell you that those substances which are used by the human beings for their sustenance and welfare, they are said as the resources, and those resources which are found naturally, they are said as the natural resources. So all this all different types of natural resources are discussed here. So mainly the air is there, rain is there, and then like the soil is there. These things are discussed here. I don't want to go through the discussion of the air, water, soil, etc., because these are very simple. You can by reading this lesson you can understand. Afterwards it is discussed about the pollution. Okay, so pollution means what? The contamination. That means when the various natural resources are contaminated by some unwanted, undesirable substances, then we can say that is the pollution. So about the soil pollution, about the water pollution, about the air pollution also it is mentioned here. But today actually I am making this video to discuss a little bit more, which are in page number 193. Some questions are there. I want to start my explanation with the answers of these questions. So first of all, it is said, how is our atmosphere different from the atmosphere of Venus and Mars? So as a result of this question, as an answer of this question, I would like to tell you that the atmosphere of the Earth and the atmosphere of the Venus and Mars is quite different, because the atmosphere of our Earth is suitable for the existence of the living organisms here, but the atmosphere of Mars and Venus, so that is not suitable for the various life forms or lives. So main difference is that the atmosphere of Mars and Venus and Mars, that atmosphere contains the percentage of carbon dioxide more. Okay, so in our Earth, the atmosphere of the Earth contains less amount of carbon dioxide. We know that about 0.5% carbon dioxide is there, where in case of Mars and Venus it is more. It is mentioned here that 95 to 97% of carbon dioxide is there, and at the presence of in this heavy carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it is becoming difficult for the living organisms to live there. So that is the answer you can write. Then question number 2, it is asking, how does the atmosphere act as a blanket? So it is a very good question and important question also. So blanket. So first of all, we have to know that what is a blanket and why, when we are using the blanket. So blanket we are using to keep us warm. During winter season, we are using the blanket to keep us warm. But how this blanket is keeping us warm? So it is very simple that during winter, the atmospheric temperature is less than our body temperature. So as there is a difference between the temperatures, so our body temperature always try to go out, and as a result of which we may feel the cold. But as we are taking the blanket, so blanket do not allow our body temperature to go out. So it keeps our body temperature remain there inside the blanket, and we feel warm. So that means the blanket is making us warm, and that warmth is necessary for our normal life. That means if we feel cold, then we cannot live properly, we cannot do our works properly. So it keeps us warm, it maintains the temperature, and we feel better, and we can live properly. So same as the blanket do in the winter season, so this our atmosphere is also doing like this. So during the atmosphere contains some gases, so which are said as the greenhouse gases. Basically carbon dioxide is there, methane is there, okay, water vapor is there. So like these gases, they are means covering the earth's surface and do not allow the radiated heat, that means the heat which is absorbed by the earth during day. So during night they are released by the earth. So when they are going out from the earth at that time, because of the presence of these greenhouse gases, they are trapped within the atmosphere, and this is important to maintain the temperature, required temperature within the earth. Otherwise, you know, like other planets, during day our earth will be very hot and during night it will be very cool, and which is when it will be impossible for the life to live there. So it is not happening because of the presence of the atmosphere. So thus the atmosphere is working like a blanket to keep the moderate temperature, required temperature to maintain in the earth. So that is the answer of this question. Next, it is asking that what causes winds. So actually wind means the movement of the air from one place to another place. So for the movement of the air, definitely there should be a difference in temperature and there should be a difference in pressure also. So air pressure and air temperature, that regulates the, or that causes the blow of wind. That is the answer. And along with that, the humidity, that means the presence of water vapor also helps in the blowing of the winds. So what the three you can write: first of all, the temperature, the atmospheric temperature change, or the difference of the atmospheric temperature. Secondly, you can write the difference in the atmospheric pressure, and thirdly, you can write the difference in the humidity of the various places. Then it is asking how are clouds formed. So I think this answer you can write by your own. So how the clouds are formed: because of the condensation of the water vapor. So during daytime, during the when the sun is shining, the water is evaporated and it goes up from the surface of the earth. Earth's surface contains so many water bodies, and from the water bodies the water goes up as a water vapor evaporated, and as it is going up, so at a high altitude, due to the less pressure, atmospheric pressure, this water vapor gets condensed and converted into water droplets, and when the water droplets become bigger, that means heavy, at that time they are falling down. So before falling down, that is said as the cloud. So cloud is nothing, it is the condensed water vapor which is not as much heavy that they fall down as a rain. So that things you can write there. And lastly, number 5, list any 3 human activities that you think would lead to air pollution. So what is air pollution? All of you know, the contamination of the air. So when the air contains some harmful gases more there in the air. It is a mixture of gases, but those gases which are present in a proper ratio. But if some harmful gases are increasing in the air, or some another unnecessary unrequired particles will be available in the air, then we can say that is a polluted air. And I think for that, it is, what do you think it is asking? So I think first of all, the burning of the non-biodegradable materials, for example the plastic. Okay, so when we are burning the plastic, then some gases are formed which are very harmful to us, and as they get mixed with the air, they can pollute the air. So burning of plastic, that means burning of any non-biodegradable substance, it is maybe one cause of air pollution. Secondly, the burning of the fossil fuels, we are using so many fossil fuels, that coal is there, petrol is there, diesel is there, kerosene is there, so many fossil fuels are there. So fossil fuels contains carbon, and burning of the carbon creates some gaseous carbon, that means carbon dioxide, maybe carbon monoxide, maybe. So if they are increasing in the air, their percentage increases in the air, then definitely there will be the air pollution there. So that is the second reason. I think so, and I hope it will be correct. And thirdly, and most important thing is the cutting down of the trees, because trees, that means the plants are purifying the air. They are maintaining the percentage of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the air. So if we are cutting illegally these plants at a large scale, then it may cause, or it may help in air pollution. So these 3 answers you can write as a answer of this question number 5, so that we have discussed. Then I would like to discuss about this, another few things. These other questions are also there in page number 194. Why do organisms need water? A major source of fresh water, activity which may putting these waters. So these things, these answers, I think you can write yourself. So one more thing I want to discuss, that is the weathering of rocks. So what is the weathering of rocks and how does it occur? So that I would like to discuss with you. So weathering of rocks, that means the formation of the soil. So weathering of rocks means the breaking of the rocks due to different reasons, different conditions. The rocks are broken down, and from the rocks, what is happening? The soil is formed. So that is said as the weathering of rocks. So it may be of three types. First of all, that is the chemical weathering, then physical weathering, and then after the biological weathering. Okay, so these three types of weathering of rocks may occur. So first of all, the physical weathering, so where the sun, water, and the wind, so these things are helping in the breaking down of the rocks. Big rocks are broken down into small pieces, and at last they are converted into the soil. So this is physical weathering. So during daytime, so sun is shining, the temperature is increasing, and as the temperature is increasing, the volume of the rocks are increasing, and gradually when at night, when it is no sunshine is there, then temperature is decreases, and as a result of which the rock again it volume decreases. So continuously, gradually, when it happens for long days, long time, during day it is increasing, during night decreasing, decreasing. Then one day what happened? So their structure become loose, and one day this rock, there may be some crevices, means small gaps, some small cracks may occur in the rock, and ultimately the rock may break down. And in this breaking down of the rock, the water is also helping. If the water is falling there from a river or any other place, let maybe any waterfall is there from where the water is falling on the rock, and again due to rain also water is coming and gathering in the cracks of the rocks. So it also helps in the breaking down of the rocks into small pieces. In the same time, the wind is also helping, because the wind is when the strong winds are blowing, then the rocks are falling from one to another place. That if one big rock is falling over another rock, then the rock may break down. So like this also this physical weathering occur. So main conditions for physical weathering, it is the sun, then secondly water, and thirdly the wind. Then chemical weathering, so many chemical substances are there in the atmosphere as well as in the soil also. It is there in the water also. So many chemical substances are there. If these chemical substances are coming in contact with the rocks, then it may break the rocks. It may means some chemical reactions may occur with the rocks, and as a result of which the rock may break down, and at last it may form the soil. It is not only 1 day work or 2 day work. It is taking long years, maybe 1,000 years, more than that years also it is taking. So but it is also one of the reason of weathering. And lastly, the biological weathering. So what is biological weathering? That means in the rocks, due to some reason, some plants may grow there, some microorganisms may form on the rocks, and they may create that means when they are growing on the rocks. So if you let one plant is growing on the rocks, then the roots of the plant is growing inside the rock, and it is helping in the cracking of the rocks. Same way the microorganisms also, when they are decomposing the various matter, at that time so many chemical substances are formed. That chemical substances also may help in the breaking of the rocks like this. So these living organisms, that means microorganisms, maybe plants, maybe some animals, maybe, so they are also helping in the breaking of the rocks, and this is called the biological weathering. So these three are very important. You can write them. Then here last page I want to discuss on more thing. There is about the soil pollution and soil erosion. It is given. So what is soil pollution? I hope you can understand and you can write. So what is soil erosion? Erosion means what? The blowing of the topsoil. Topsoil means what? It is mentioned here. The topmost layer of the soil that contains humus and living organisms in addition to the soil particles is called the topsoil. So that is the topsoil, and topsoil is very important for the growth of the plants, as well as so many microorganisms are also developing there. So it is the best part of the soil for the growth of plants and animals. So this soil, if it is blown away, if it is taken away from one place, then the soil becomes barren. So in that soil nothing can be done. So no plants also can grow, no microorganisms can also live. Then that soil becomes, it is useless. So if this topsoil is blown away by any means, so then that is said as the soil erosion. So generally it happens because of the heavy rain. It may happen due to the heavy wind also, or sometimes due to some human activities also soil erosion occur. So this soil erosion can be prevented first of all by planting more trees. So because the trees are if we are planting trees on a soil, then the roots of the tree, they are grasping the soil, and they are not allowing the soil to go away from that, and by this way they are helping in the protection of the soil erosion. So these things I would like to discuss with you, and only these things are there in the book, that are the main things. So many other things are also there, but that are the main things, and I have discussed these things with you. Then fertilizers, pesticides, these are also there. So fertilizer means what? I think you know, the chemical substances which are used for the growth of the plant, proper growth of the plants, for the proper growth and development of the plant, that are the fertilizers. Pesticides are those chemical substances which are used to kill the pest. Pest means those harmful, maybe bacteria, maybe some microorganism, maybe some insects, or another animals, microorganisms which are creating some problem to the plant, creating some diseases to the plant. So for killing them, those chemical substances are used, that are said as the pesticides. Okay, so this is about that. I don't think that more things are here. So other things are, when you read the lesson you will understand, and if you are not able to understand, then you please let me know by giving comments here in the below here in the video. Below the video the comment box is there. You can give me comments, or you can use my personal WhatsApp number. Thank you and have a good day.